narcissistic cycle of abuse.
Go
Yeah,
for it. You're
we talking
super
about
excited about that last time. Yeah.
I ain't gonna add
you
my
start.
step right now. We're gonna talk about the normal. You can Google the cycle, y'all. So the cycle of narcissistic abuse typically starts with or toxic abuse, whatever name y'all want to give it, typically starts off with the love bombing and idealization phase, y'all. Love bombing, idealization phase happens when a narcissistic person, toxic person, whatever. So they give you everything. We become whoever we need to be to get you to fall in love with us. Because during the love bombing phase, can some narcissists go into it with the mindset of manipulating you from the beginning? Yeah, absolutely. But for me, during my love bombing phases, my idealization phases, I'm very particular with who I love bomb. I love bomb. I feel like I love bomb the people that I actually love and care about. You know, I was like, I want this person right here, and this person makes me feel complete. So I feel so good about myself inside that I want to make this person feel the same way. You make me feel so good about myself that I want to match that, you know. So you are a narcissistic love bomber now. Yeah, I am, y'all. But but that's how it goes. Like I said, so during the love bombing phase, we become whoever we need to be to get you to fall for us. Could it be some authentic feelings from the beginning? Yeah, possibly. You know, it's not for me. It wasn't all fake for me. You know, some people can be fake from the beginning. Yes, absolutely. But whatever helps you heal. But like for me, it wasn't all fake from the beginning. I thought, you know, if you're a believer, I thought this person was created from my rib. I was like, oh, my rib are right here. I feel like my rib. It's like a puzzle piece. Like it's like a puzzle. Like you fit right here. You know, it's just like you fit on my side. So I felt that, you know, doing the love bombing idealization phase, and it's a good phase. I think some narcissists are addicted to the love bombing phase, which is why you see some of them hopping because they're extremely good feelings on the inside. You hop from relationship to relationship, chasing that high, chasing the continuous high that you feel in the beginning. Like, damn, I love this feeling. I need it again. Boom. It wears off. I need it again. Boom. Wears off. I need it again. You know, so hopping from relationship to relationship to relationship. The next phase is the devaluation phase. I'm going to let one of y'all hop on that.
Okay. So like the devaluation phase, like a lot of times it's very subtle. It's very small, of being able to bring like small things into the relationship that is going to be able to separate you from who you actually are, or for how you've actually grown or lived or anything like that. So a lot of times a narcissist will try to bring in these small, like belittling comments, small things that will slowly make you question your either reality through gaslighting or like your worth through like the small criticism that they're doing on a consistent basis. And this is where people, we ran into someone just the other day that was like, hey, like I'm a high executive. Like why in the world, like did I fall for this? Because I'm smart. Well, because this person slowly got into the place where they started chipping away, like at that self-worth, at that confidence of who they actually are.
And then after, you want to add to the devaluation stage, Catherine, or you want to hop into the discard?
No, I can add to the devaluation. So what Ben was talking about was when the subtle conditioning starts, and that's when they're grooming you and chipping away at your self-esteem and all that. But then also in the devaluation stage, it eventually, so at first it's very subtle and it's hard. When they chip away your self-esteem, it's almost in a way that it's not coming from them. Like, oh my God, so-and-so said this about what you were wearing, or so-and-so said this about the way you speak or something. But eventually, as the devaluation stage progresses, the abuse becomes more overt and the disrespect starts coming from them. And you'll see gaslighting in this stage. That's when you see dog whistling, the double bind where you can't win. There's no win. Lose, 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 lose. You're being put in these situations. The arguments start to become a lot more frequent. It's not as spread out. It's like every day or like every other day. It's just constant.
And in doing, like I said, when you go from love bombing to devaluation, that's when the like during the love bombing phase, the narcissistic person has this perfect image of you in our head. Like you are like perfect to me. You might not be a perfect person, but like in my head, I've created this idealized image of you. Here's your legs right here. You know, I created this image of you in my head that I love this person so damn much. Like you are perfect for me. Then something shatters or breaks this image, makes this image crumble down. Then you get to the devaluation phase, because during the devaluation phase or whatever, I felt like you've been lying to me. because I see you in this different light. So I feel like you've been lying to me about who you are. So because you've been lying to me, I'm going to start doing you wrong, because you did me wrong by breaking my heart, by pretending to be this person that I thought you were. You didn't pretend, unless you were. You didn't pretend. I created this image of you in my head that you probably could never live up to. You cannot live up to the image that I have of you in my head. Or if you're currently living up to it, you can't. It's not sustainable. You know what I mean? It's just absolutely not sustainable in this dynamic. So once it runs out and the image shatters, the devaluation phase starts, because I feel like you've been lying to me. Now I feel like the love has run out. Now inside, remember earlier I said inside I feel really good. Now I feel really bad. So I feel really bad on the inside. So I need to express that my internal feelings. I need to express this externally on you. You get this point. Now you get the bad stuff. You made me feel good at first, but now you make me feel bad. So here comes your energy. Here it comes from the inside out. You know, it starts from the inside out. We're doing the devaluation stage and whatnot. And then once it devalue, here comes one of the last stages, y'all, is the discard phase. Now, if y'all want to hop on the discard phase, we can do that too. Yeah.
I can. So I can start. So the discard typically happens, the end of the relationship happens in one or two ways, where they discard you or you escape from the abuse. And when it comes to them discarding you, typically the narcissist, if they're the one doing the discarding, is because they've used you for everything that they need you for, and they're ready to move on to the next supply. Or they really don't care. They're not attached to you as a human being, right? They're attached to what they're getting from you. Sex, money, ego stroke, power, control, whatever it is. When it's not fun for them anymore, they're going to move on to the next. You're going to feel totally abandoned, and they're not going to look back. And they're going to have no guilt or remorse about it either. You're just discarded. It's like you were garbage. Taken out, like, I'm not going to think twice when the dump truck picks up my garbage this week. Not even think twice about it. That's them. So the other way you get out of the relationship is when you regain control, you find your empowerment, and you leave the relationship. This is hard to do because you're going to be dealing with a trauma bond, and that's this active addiction to your abuser. They don't like when you take back control of your life, so this is going to trigger them immediately into regaining that control, and they will, with 100% certainty, try and hoover you back. So you have to be prepared to continually, day in and day out, fight to maintain that control and empowerment.
A lot of times we'll see, like, when people start to take back their power, like, that's when it starts to get worse, at least for a period of time. Because then you start to flex and be like, wait a second, like, I'm actually going to step up and actually be the person that I want to be. I'm going to start investing in myself. I'm going to start going to the gym or hanging out with friends, or like actually like moving forward in life. And all of a sudden the narcissist is like, this is going to get worse now. It's like, now I'm going to come at you even harder, because like, I want to get you back under my control. When you start to take control of your life, of your perspective, of you actually moving forward and who you want to be or who you're called to be, that's when a lot of times the narcissist is like, let me pull you back down. And like, they're trying to do that time and time again.
Yeah. So so the discard phase for me happens so for me, the discard actually starts doing the devaluation phase. Because I always say there's two stages to the discard for me. There's the emotional discard, and then there's also the physical discard. You know, this is my personal perspective. Most narcissists emotionally discard you. You know what I mean? Not all of them will physically discard you, but most of them emotionally discard you when their perfect image gets fractured and disintegrates. They emotionally discard you. They emotionally disconnect from you. They don't view you the same, and they don't treat you the same anymore. So they kind of emotionally get rid of you. But just because they emotionally get rid of you, stop showing you love, affection, and caring about you, that type of stuff, doesn't mean that they will physically get rid of you. People stay together. They'll keep you around for 20 years. You know, a lot of times because they think you belong to them. They claim this type of ownership over you. So they'll keep you around for a long time. And that's what I tell people all the time, like, longevity in a relationship does not always equate to, happiness. Like, we were together for 40 years. How many of those years were you actually happy? 2. You know, people are like, something like that along those situations right there. So they might emotionally discard you, but they might not physically get rid of you. You might be, it gets to that point where you feel like you're roommates. And I feel like we're roommates now. We're just co-parenting in the same house. Like, we just live together and don't talk. You know, you're just like, oh, hi, bye, off to work, home, honey, I'm home. It's just like, you get into this dynamic where it's kind of it cycles over and over and over again. You know.
Can you talk onto something, because it kind of goes along these lines. Every time I explain to a client that, you know, if you leave, you choose to leave, they're gonna try and hoover you back and get you back. And I saw comments pop up immediately. I get it with my clients and friends all the time. Right away, it's like, well, I don't think they will try and get me back because they've been threatening to leave me for so many, and they always say, go ahead, you want to leave, blah blah blah. You know, that they really wouldn't care, and that they're the one that's actually suggesting the divorce. So can you talk on that?
So I was just gonna say, like, a piece of it is like the narcissist, when they're saying stuff like that, the narcissist wants you to leave, they just don't want to look like the bad person. So like when I'm saying like, well, why don't you just leave? I actually want you to leave so I can go do what I want to do. But I don't want to look bad, because if I did that, well, then I'm like a homewrecker, you know, then I'm a cheater, then I'm a liar. The whole goal is that you actually break up with me so that I look like a good person. I can play the victim, or especially when we're talking like covert, vulnerable narcissist, and then it doesn't look bad to my image. But like, I have to get you to a place where you're the one that leaves. Now, when you leave, then typically, like, what happens is you get ready to walk out the door. I'm like, oh, please stay. I hate that it actually happened this way. Like, I'm sad that this happened. And you're like, oh, well, maybe I should stay. And so like, this is me talking from personal experience. Like, my wife would get ready to leave. Like she like walked out the door, got in the car, like probably like 5 times before she actually left. Like, and a lot of times what would happen is like right before, I would feel the guilt and shame of like, oh, like, I know this is actually a bad thing. I know she's leaving because of me. So I'd be like, I hate this. Like, can't we just get along? Like, all this kind of stuff. And then she'd stay, and I get so pissed off. I get pissed off because I'm like, dang it. Like, I thought she was going to leave, but then I had to say something that actually pulled her back. So there's all this like push and pull that the narcissist is only focused on, like, can I get rid of them and still come out looking like the best person?
Mm-hmm. Yep. But also the dynamic, if you do choose to leave them, I don't believe that all narcissists will try to hoover you back. I will leave you alone. If you left me, it would bring so much shame to me. Like right now, back in the day, it would be different. But like right now, if somebody were to leave me, I wouldn't try to hoover them back. I'd be like, you know what? Bye. And I would just move on quickly and try to hurt their feelings and to show them how replaceable they were. You know what? I have other options out here available to me in this space right here. So I would just move on quickly. I wouldn't try to hoover you back, which sometimes leads to you trying to hoover yourself. Because if you learn about narcissism and narcissistic toxic abuse or whatnot, you think that you think all narcissists hoover you, right? That's what people say. Like, they're gonna hoover you, they're gonna hoover you. So if I don't hoover you, guess what happens? You don't think I'm a narcissist anymore. Like, well, I didn't get hoovered. What is it about me? Well, if he's a narcissist, he didn't hoover me. And then you reach out to me. You're like, oh, hey, just want to check in on you. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Now when you hoover yourself to me, clean slate. You just, the whiteboard that you had hung up of all the bad stuff I've done, wipe it off. You know what I mean? Clean it up, clean slate. Don't bring it up again. Why did you reach out to me if you were not okay with me? If what I put you through or what I've done to you wasn't okay, why are you reaching out to me? You can talk about the trauma bond. You can say, I'm trauma bonded to you. I don't want to hear that. Why you reaching out to me? People, like I said, they don't care if you're trauma bonded to them. You can explain that to them. You can say, hey, I'm traumatized. I feel like a hostage. It's a Stockholm syndrome. They don't want to hear that, honestly. Right. So just be wary. If you're done, stay done. Don't reach out to them. You don't have to be there. I know some people just want. So many people nowadays, it's like you can be friends with your ex. I don't believe in being friends with your toxic ass ex. If they treated you badly in an intimate partnership, what do you think they're gonna do to you as a friend? Mm-hmm. If y'all went from clapping cheeks to nothing to just being friends, and some people will convince you like, y'all grow up, be an adult. Adults be friends. You can be friends with your ex. If somebody to be beating my ass and lying to me for years, or cheating on me for years, I don't see the value in having a friend like that. You might as well have an enemy. You might as well go out here and try to make enemies. Right. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead and try your hardest to make enemies, because that's what you pretty much do. It's like you let how vampires can only come in your house if you open the door to them, if you invite them inside. That's literally what you're doing. Like, come on in, vampire. Like, my neck. Let me clean my neck off for you. Go and give me a good bite right here. Here's a bite. Here's your bite zone.
But okay, but also I do want to say that I think a lot of us victims of narcissistic abuse want the Hoover to validate our worth. So we put our worth in if they're thinking about, because we tell ourselves a story like, oh, if they try and Hoover me, that's because they love and miss me, which isn't true. And if they love and miss me, that's because I'm lovable. And I need someone to mirror to me that I'm lovable because I don't know it about myself. So I just want to really clarify, if that's you on here, your worth is not in someone mentally unwell choosing you. Okay. These people are dealing with a lot of stuff going on in their own psyche. Your worth in general is not in another person, healthy or otherwise, but especially.
Yeah, because a lot of times people associate Hoover equaling care. And when Hoover actually means control. Like, now I got you back. Like Hoover, like we use the word Hoover because it's a play out words off of the vacuum. Vacuum sucks up stuff, right? Well, the narcissist is trying to get back into your life to suck you back into the relationship and to be able to have control over you, to put you in a box with all the other dirt and grime that's stuck in the vacuum and then throw you away when they're done with you, because like that's what they're doing time and time again. Hoover equals control. If you get anything from this live, Hoover does not mean care. It means control.
Yeah. And you don't need to be Hoover to be validated. Like I said, when I post my videos about Hoovering, so many people, I feel like it makes so many people feel bad about themselves. What you just said, Catherine, a few minutes ago. Like, it makes people feel, oh, well, I didn't get Hoover. I guess I wasn't worth that much to them. Yeah,
they're not thinking about me.
They really did move on fast. I wasn't worth enough. Though. This is what happens in a lot of toxic relationships anyway. You associate so much value to this person's opinion of you. You seek this person. This person becomes your, if you are the earth, this person becomes your sun. Like, you get light and heating from them. You get the validation from them or whatever. So you feel like, I need this from me. I need this from you. Give me this heat. You know what I mean? Give it to me.
Yeah. And that comes from two things. That comes from subtle conditioning by them to basically put all of, like, we have to look for them for that validation for every, like, is this okay? Because we'll get punished or not. But two, because we don't have boundaries, or we give someone that much control over if we are valid.
Somebody said keep them blocked and don't peek. Yes, this is why I say, y'all, don't peek.
Don't peek.
I say turn off the narcissist TV. Because it's like a TV show. You're watching it. What are you getting for this TV show? You said you turn it on and you watch them treating somebody else better. What are you getting from that other than re-traumatizing yourself? Questioning your own self-worth and your own self-value. And then also, this is what happens a lot of times. Also what happens in popcorn. You also end up reaching out to them. You watch them treat somebody else better, and then you reach out to them like, I see you happy with your new boo. Thanks for everything. I didn't deserve that. You get angry. You send those messages. And if I'm the narcissist in that situation, I'm like,
because I think the other thing we're doing is we are making it like, if they move on first, we equivalate that to healedness and like winning. And just because they're dating someone else doesn't mean they healed, and just because you haven't moved on doesn't mean you've lost, or you're the toxic one. Because I think that's the other thing. Like, well, look, they're in another relationship. It must have been a me thing. Like, I'm the toxic one. You don't need to move on to be healing. They chose to move on, and it is a show, right? It's a grand production. They're not actually going to treat this person well, and you're choosing to heal and better yourself. So don't ever apologize for that.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I said the word popcorn because like that's what you're signing up for. You're signing up for a show. And you have to remember, like, when you're watching this show, like, you're watching the narcissist from the outside. You're watching from the outside them love bomb and seduce another person. And what that means is early on, they're going to give that person everything that you wanted and everything that that person wants to be able to lock them into the relationship. And a lot of times people are like, wait a second, like they're doing this and they're doing every single thing that I wanted them to do. You need to understand that there's a piece of that they're doing that on purpose.
Oh, God,
okay, because it does two things. One, it triggers you, it pisses you off, and it makes you think that it's your fault. And then two, sometimes it locks in the next supply because what you like might not be what the next person likes, but they're just doing something. It's just easy. of like, let me just pull this out because, well, this is what the last person wanted, so I might as well do this. And they just keep doing it over and over and over again. And you start questioning yourself of like, wait a second, maybe I'm the crazy one, maybe I'm the toxic one, when in reality, they're doing it as a play. One thing that somebody said, no, actually they didn't say it. It's in one of the books. I think it's Psychopath 3, maybe. But it like goes to this idea and this concept of like, you have to remember how you feel when you're watching the new supply is how someone else felt whenever you first got with a narcissist. It goes in cycles, and being able to understand that that same feeling will get repeated over and over and over as they keep going person to person.
Yeah. So yeah, if y'all are just tuning in, we are coming together in Orlando, Florida for a one-of-a-kind, nothing like this is going on in the world, y'all. Nothing. You can Google it. Google True Self-Aware Narcissist is Survivor Workshop. See what comes up. And post it in the comment section. But Orlando, Florida, May the 20th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. live and in person. We're going to be there talking about these questions and things like that, live and in person, y'all. Breaking the trauma bond, dealing with cognitive dissonance, this narcissistic cycle of abuse, what we talked about earlier, and things like that. The link to register is pinned, and it's also in my comments, also in my bio. My brain, I had to reboot it right there. My brain, damn. It's in my,
I Googled it, and all I got was a ton of YouTube videos of me and you. Like all the lives that we've done before. That's hilarious.
That's funny. Post it in the comment section.
That's awesome.
But yeah, so Orlando, Florida, y'all, we're doing this live and in person, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you're looking to break the trauma bond, looking to break that final tie, to be gone and whatnot, literally, Orlando, Florida, May the 20th. Link is in my bio, and it's pinned in the comment section right here as well, y'all. Why are we so attracted to a narcissist? I mean, I feel like,
should I take this?
I was going to let his ego first.
Yeah, I was gonna,
Oh, okay.
I know. I think that's what you were thinking.
I'm
Up there like, why would you not be?
I was like, let me
oh my God.
I'm joking, y'all, but like seriously, I think sometimes it's the outer appearance of confidence that sucks some people in. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So many people get caught up in these situations where you see, oh, this person is super confident. I love their confidence, whatever. But a lot of times the confidence is the mask for the insecurities right beneath the surface, Mm-hmm. And I think confidence attracts a lot of people, humor, whatever, whatever y'all are attracted to. Sometimes you see that in the narcissistic person. And people, and sometimes I think also people say something like that to me in my comment section, I think you see the traits of your person, the person that you might have loved, the person you might have cared about. You see those traits in me or Ben, more refined. You see them being put to good, and you're just like, damn, my person's like that. And you connect that sometimes like that, y'all. Mm-hmm. So it may not always be physical attraction. It might be just the attraction to the traits or whatever that you saw in the person that you might have been trauma bonded to or whatever. So that happens too.
Because that's not even touching like the energy or like the vibes of like what's actually going on underneath,
Yeah. Yeah. It was energy doors.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that's going on. There's the confidence, but there's also the mask, because these people are master manipulators, and then there's the mirroring. So they're presenting back to you a lot of traits of your own that you really like, that they're picking up on, that maybe they like too. And it's oftentimes another reason we're attracted to narcissists is something is missing in us, and there's a void in us that really wants that like extra. We take this heightened love, like the love bombing and the moving fast and all of that is a validation of more intense love, more real, more soulmate. And I think that when there's this void in us that we don't necessarily give ourselves permission to just be lovable, when they mirror that back to us, we just like eat it up and we just want to hold on to it. And then to take it even further, some of us are raised by narcissistic parents, and that affects attachment. Look into attachment theory, and that just affects how you attach to people in the future. You'll have a higher psychological resilience to the highs and lows, to the abuse, to the love bombing. You'll seek it out, and you'll be more attracted to it. And you'll be more tolerable to their bad behavior. You're already used to coming up for excuses for people's bad behavior. You've been doing it since birth. So now you can just do it for them too. And they love that.
There you go. But yeah, that's how we're about to hop off of here real quick, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Follow Ben Taylor, Raw Motivations. Follow Catherine Kleiss. Is it at Catherine Kleiss now? At Catherine Kleiss. Follow us. Follow them on social media. If y'all don't, some of y'all might already follow them. Y'all might come in from their pages or whatnot. But like I said, we're coming together May 20th in Orlando, Florida for our next in-person workshop, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Again, Ben Googled it. There's nothing like this in the world going on. Nothing else. We have Google tells the truth though, right? It's on the internet, so it must be true. So yeah. So May 20th, rawmotivationscoaching.com/workshop. The link is in my bio. Click the beacon link. Go on there to Orlando, Florida workshop, and we will see you guys there. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace.
Take care.